Coming off of a heavy weather week here in Las Vegas, it's important to talk about what to do if you get in a car accident, especially in the rain. And thanks to our sponsors for this next segment, Eric Palacios and Associates, we have some helpful tips to keep in mind.
Eric, thank you so much for joining us today. A lot to talk about. We saw a pretty intense weather day here in Las Vegas this week, which usually means we see a lot of car accidents. Let's talk a little bit about why we do see so many accidents when it rains here in Las Vegas.
We did see a lot of accidents in the past few days with rain, and it's based on two factors. One, we get about 1/5 of what the rest of the country gets on average for rainfall and rain days. In Las Vegas, we average about 20 days of rain per year, and that's not a lot. So with that comes more oil and debris that stays on the roads for a longer period of time. So normally this is washed away by rain. So since we sometimes go months without a rainstorm, when it does rain, the roads are very slick. And two, because we don't see much rain, us as drivers sometimes don't change our driving habits when we are driving in the rain. So we will drive at the same speed. We won't slow down a bit. We won't add more room between the car in front of us and our own car. So when there is a need to brake quickly or to change our speed, it leads to accidents.
And if we do get in a car accident, what tips or suggestions do you have as far as what to do next?
Well, even more importantly, on days of rain, be careful when you get out of the car. A lot of times you'll see a chain reaction accident because of the conditions, because it's harder to see. And the last thing you want to do is step out of your car and then get hit and be injured even worse. So it's important to take a breath, make sure that it's safe to get out of the vehicle. And then once you are safe, then call the police and they can come and help you and investigate the accident.
And then as we deal with the aftermath of an accident, I think a really big question that we all have is, should we be the ones dealing directly with the insurance companies?
A lot of people think that it's a good idea to talk to the insurance company on your own, but be aware that especially the other driver's insurance company, their goal is to not pay you or to pay you as little as possible if it's their driver's fault. So they always record the conversations. They have to let you know they're recording it, but they still do. And they're trained to ask you questions that will elicit responses that will later harm your case. So it's important if you're injured in an accident to let an attorney handle these conversations for you. That way we can protect your rights.
And just real quick, this is a little confusing too, to know when you're supposed to call 911 versus 311 if you're in any sort of trouble or accident.
That's a great question. 911 should be only if you're injured in the accident and you need an ambulance. If you're not seriously injured, if you're okay, but you still need an officer to come and write a report and investigate the accident, then you can call 311. It takes a little bit longer, but at least you're not clogging up the emergency lines for something that's not truly an emergency.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for breaking this all down for us. We hope everyone stays safe out there, but just really important to keep in mind if you're driving, especially in the rain. So thank you, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to Eric Palacios and Associates for sponsoring this segment. Give them a call at 702-444-7777. You can also visit their website at ericpalacioslaw.com. We'll be right back.